So this is part 2 of the Pacific Coast Highway videos from Big Sur to Monterey. After driving north past the San Martin Rock viewing area, the road continues towards Julia Pheiffer State Park. At this point, you're also officially in Big Sur as the road comes closer to Monterey in the north. This section of the road isn't necessarily on a mountain ridge, but it still is at fairly high elevation above the ocean below. Driving about 8.5 miles north from the San Martin Rock will bring you to the next stop at Mill Creek Beach area. There's a small beach here, as it says in the name, but it's also just a great place to stop to get some more great ocean views, as well as views of the mountains, trees, and fog behind you. There's a short road that you can walk down from this area to get to a picnic area and the beach. It's also a good place to get a view of the road and the bridge against the backdrop of mountains and trees, and for some photo opportunities. After the stop, the road continues along the coast with views of nothing but rocks, ocean, and the mountains. Shortly afterward, you'll also come underneath a structure that was built over the highway to contain some rock slides that came down a few years ago, which means you'll be partway to Pheiffer Big Sur State Park. On most days, you'll also find that you pass in and out of patches of fog as you continue on the drive, so some parts might be partly sunny, and then 5 minutes later you'll go straight into a fog bank. The areas where the fog is can also be sort of windy, so it's nice to feel the cool ocean breeze as you come through. At this point, you'll only be about a half-mile away from Pheiffer Big Sur State Park, which brings us close to our 7th stop at McWay Falls. McWay Falls is an 80-foot waterfall on the coast of Big Sur that flows year-round from McWay Creek, and during high tide becomes a tide fall that empties directly into the Pacific Ocean, and during low tide empties onto the beach. This waterfall is definitely one of my favorite stops on this drive, and I'd recommend it to anyone coming through because it's an awesome photo opportunity and really cool view to see from the road. This view will also be equally as good whether you come on a cloudy or a sunny day, since the watercolor seems to stay fairly consistent in the ocean around here. Even though viewing the McWay Falls from the side of the road is great, there's also a very short trail that you can take down while on your drive to get to a closer viewing area. This trail is only about 0.5 miles and is fairly easy and should take less than 30 minutes to complete. The trail starts going very slightly inland into Pheiffer Big Sur State Park, where you'll be able to see some coast redwoods on the mountains. After that, the trail continues going back towards the waterfall through some trees and out of the mountains. The trail then goes through a very short tunnel out to the main viewing area for McWay Falls. After that, it's less than a 1-minute walk to the best viewing area to see the waterfall and all the surroundings. Even though this trail can get pretty crowded, it was awesome to get a closer look at the waterfall and to get another nice photo opportunity, so I definitely just still recommend it if you have the time. After McWay Falls, it will be quite a while until the next stop, but now since you're in the middle of Big Sur, you'll get some great views of coast redwoods on the mountains and in some places even surrounding the road. At this point, you'll get to see some variation from the typical ocean and mountain views and pass through some nice groves of coast redwoods. Even though there aren't any old growth redwoods directly along the road in this area, and they're mostly younger second growth redwoods, it's still very nice to see. Even though there aren't any ocean views, this is one of my favorite sections of the drive, and it's definitely one of the most peaceful and beautiful in my opinion. Even though the main focus after passing Big Sur is often the historic Bixby Bridge, the road also passes over lots of other historic bridges built during the 1930s. Before you do reach the historic bridges and coastal views again, enjoy the last few sections of Big Sur and passing through a couple more coast redwood groves. This section also had some of the taller redwoods that I saw during this drive, so I'd imagine this is one of the oldest sections of forest. Along with redwoods, you'll also see some pines, oaks, and sycamores along this section of the road. After driving along the coast and exiting Big Sur, the road will pass over a few bridges before reaching the main historic bridge, the Bixby Bridge. The Bixby Bridge is the most famous bridge on this road and was built in 1932 over Bixby Canyon. It's located in Carmel near the northern end of Big Sur and has an easy area to pull off and get some views and photo opportunities of the bridge against the mountains and the ocean. Even though it was built in 1932, Bixby Bridge is still one of the highest bridges of its kind in the world and comes about 260 feet above the canyon below carved by Bixby Creek. The Bixby Bridge is one of many famous historic bridges in California and is known as an open spandrel arch bridge, which is made of reinforced concrete. It only has a main span of about 360 feet. The Bixby Bridge was the last stop on this drive as we continued off of Route 1 after Monterey to get towards San Francisco. So that's the end of this two-part video on driving PCH or Route 1 in California, and thanks for watching.